Rubin now, who served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State during the Obama administration. Joel, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here.
It's always great to be with you, Natasha.
First, I do want to ask you about the news regarding Prigozin. Russia says that it confirmed with DNA that he died in that crash. The Kremlin still denying any responsibility. Specifically, what do you make of this U.S. intelligence assessment that determined it was an internal explosion that brought down the plane? What do you infer from that?
So, Natasha, nothing happens like this in Putin's Russia without Vladimir Putin blessing it. So we clearly see Putin's mob rule extending now into anyone who he perceives as a threat. Yevgeny Prigozin threatened him clearly, crossed him by leading a rebellion a couple of months ago. And even though Vladimir Putin made a deal with him at the time, promising his safety, that clearly looks like it was a maneuver to lull Prigozhin into stopping the rebellion, and now there was payback. So this plane just dropped out of the sky. There was an explosion, according to data that has been reported about what happened to it. It just was on trajectory, flying fine, and then uncertainty, something happened, and boom, it fell out of the sky. So clearly this is an act of aggression and an assassination of Prigozhin.
Yeah. And we know both of the leaders of the Wagner Group went down in that plane, leaving a vacuum of leadership for the Wagner Group. How will essentially wiping out Wagner leadership affect the war in Ukraine?
Well, the way that Vladimir Putin has been using the Wagner Group for a number of years is sort of his front lead entity that could exact a toll in Africa and in Ukraine as well. The Wagner Group was very active in Bakhmut, took a lot of losses, and Russian military forces could say that it wasn't really them, it was the Wagner Group. What this means now is that Wagner has been decapitated, and it's yet to be seen, but likely that the Russian military will absorb much of that fighting force, and that could be difficult for Russia. The administration is assessing that it still could take another 6 months for Russia to have effective manpower in this fight in Ukraine. That there's been a long slog now over the past several months, as we've seen. So this could harm Russia's efforts in Ukraine, but I don't think that's what Vladimir Putin had on his mind. He wants to make sure he keeps power in Moscow and keeps away Russian threats.
Yeah. How do you think this crash reflects on Putin's power? Does this action show his strength, his weakness, or both?
Yeah, no, this is a great question. Clearly, he is demonstrating to potential adversaries that he is strong still, that he has the ability to take out his opponents if he wants to at any moment's notice. But that also belies the weakness that Vladimir Putin is resorting again to not just repression, but assassination and high-profile assassination, demonstrating a deep uncertainty and an insecurity by him in what kind of power and what kind of hold he has over Russia. This is not the sign of someone who's a strong, secure leader. This is the sign of a leader who really is looking over shoulder at all times.
Okay. Joel Rubin, it's always good to see you. Thank you so much for your time.